Is that this bill be now read a second time, and I call the member for Lindsay.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise today in support of the Land Transport Infrastructure Amendment Bill 2014. This legislation is critical in furthering the agenda and commitment of the Abbott government to build the roads of the 21st century. Deputy Speaker, land transport infrastructure are the arteries that link our regions, our suburbs, our workforce, our friends and families, our goods to market and our service providers to their customers. In my region of Western Sydney, 2/3 of the Lindsay workforce must commute every day to work. This is a worrying trend and is unsustainable. It creates strain on our already inadequate road and rail infrastructure. It gives me great pleasure today to see the Assistant Minister here today, who has been a very big champion of Western Sydney and has been very generous in his time in me knocking down his door to talk about the challenges of the people of Western Sydney and finding opportunities for them. And every day, the wasted time of my people of Western Sydney in overcrowded trains, it affects the productivity of the region, and it is a handbrake on our economy. The people of Western Sydney deserve the opportunity to compete economically that only land infrastructure can provide. The timely delivery of key infrastructure in Western Sydney will lead to housing, employment, continued investment in education, in training, health, social, recreational and cultural services for the entire region. Commitment is essential, and as identified by the Deputy Prime Minister when introducing this bill to the House, collaboration between Australian governments, states and territory governments, together with the private sector, will enable the successful delivery of the infrastructure Australia so desperately needs. Our Infrastructure Prime Minister and this coalition government is getting on with the job with delivering just that. Through the Infrastructure Investment Program, we have committed $35.5 billion over 6 years to road and rail projects across Australia. I would like to take the opportunity to draw the House's attention to two significant infrastructure projects that will affect the people in Western Sydney. These are projects that have been committed by the Abbott government and are clear examples of how we are delivering for the people of Western Sydney. Firstly, WestConnex, which I have spoken about many times before in this parliament. The federal coalition government has committed $1.5 billion to the WestConnex project, and will be the largest road transport project in Australia. It will provide a new way of travelling across Sydney, ensuring quick trips for commuters to the airport and Port Botany from Western Sydney. WestConnex will allow our local residents to bypass 52 sets of traffic lights and save 40 minutes on their trip to the city. It will finally connect the M5 and M4 corridors. WestConnex will enable the people of Lindsay to spend more time with their families and less time on the road. It will save businesses time and money, allowing deliveries to be received and sent more efficiently. Just last week, the Infrastructure Prime Minister announced with the New South Wales Premier yet another piece of critical linking infrastructure, NorthConnex. The Australian Government will invest $405 million in the $3 billion NorthConnex project to build the missing link between the M1 and M2 motorways, creating around 2,000 jobs. This 9-kilometre link will significantly reduce congestion and decrease travel times, particularly along Pennant Hills Road, and enabling commuters and freight trucks to bypass up to 21 sets of traffic lights and reduce travel time by up to 15 minutes. These two pieces of infrastructure are long overdue, and NorthConnex will commence construction next year, and the tunnel is expected to open in 2019. And yes, I know the opposition will tell you this money is wasted. This money was invested under the former Labor government, but they couldn't and didn't deliver it. As the Prime Minister said in question time last week, if this government needs to choose between being a gunner and a doer, we'd rather be a doer. Locally, we have committed $35 million to Jane Street. The Jane Street bypass will link Penrith and will decongest some of the critical infrastructure that we need to put together. Once again, the state government has also stepped up to the plate with another $35 million. This will also release the river precinct in Penrith. I look forward to working with the Infrastructure Prime Minister, not only in master planning process that is essential to providing roads and rail demanded by the people of Western Sydney, but also in providing an infrastructure pipeline crucial in meeting the future needs in connecting the surrounding key regions. But, Deputy Speaker, as you are all too aware, these projects are just a few examples of how this government is delivering critical land infrastructure for all of Australia. Deputy Speaker, the Abbott government has clearly demonstrated that tiers of government can work together and deliver better infrastructure to the people of Sydney. I think we all agree that WestConnex and NorthConnex are proof of this, which is why I'm extremely pleased this government has secured the future of roads to recovery by investing a further $1.75 billion for an additional 5 years. Roads to Recovery provide vital funding to local governments for the maintenance of the nation's local road infrastructure. Since the introduction of the program, Penrith City Council has received more than $13 million to upgrade more than 74.4 kilometres of local roads. Over the last 12 months alone, these works have included Andromeda Drive in Cranebrook, Francis Street, Cambridge Park, Icon Street, Jamison Town, York Road and Takara Road in South Penrith, Derby Street, Penrith, and 6 and 7 Avenue in Landilo. Since the introduction of Roads to Recovery program in 2001, some 128 local road projects have been undertaken across the Penrith LGA. Deputy Speaker, I seek leave to table the documents from Penrith Council.
Is leave granted? Leave is granted.
Thank you.
I thank the
This is a remarkable contribution to my local community, and I look forward to seeing the evolution of this and others in many years to come. Deputy Speaker, I also note this bill supports the continuation of the Black Spot program, which is a noble initiative to reduce crashes on Penrith roads. Even today, I received a note from a constituent on Twitter highlighting concerns in a local intersection in one of our key industrial and commercial precincts in South Penrith. I think that just goes to show how much our communities demand more black spot projects. By funding measures such as traffic signals and roundabouts at dangerous locations, the program reduces the risk of crashes and makes an important contribution in reducing the National Road Toll and the National Road Safety Strategy and Action Plan. The Abbott government has committed $300 million to the Black Spot program, addressing road sites and high-risk areas for serious crashes. Therefore, I am extremely pleased to bring to the attention to the House a range of black spot programs that have benefited the people of Lindsay and ensured safer driving network. Projects such as the installation of 2 raised thresholds at pedestrian crossings in Queen Street, St Mary's, ensuring cars slow down and the local families can cross the road safely, therefore ensuring they enjoy their shopping experience. Or installing a roundabout in Dunmore Street, Penrith, which will ensure smoother traffic flows and fewer incidents. There are many examples of where funding has benefited my electorate, and I'm extremely pleased we can continue to support these projects across Australia. Deputy Speaker, as you can see by these amendments attached, it is an important step in delivering the infrastructure for the 21st century. But it also ensures the continuation of a range of important programs that have a direct impact on our local road networks, ensuring our roads are safer and of a high standard that our local communities deserve. It is worth noting that projects such as Black Spot and Roads for Recovery have been around for many, many years. A key aspect of this amendment introduced by the Deputy Prime Minister is that it streamlines the initiatives into one bill and removes a series of others, therefore removing duplication and improving the efficiency of the government. Government departments, in effect, reducing red tape. Projects such as upgrades of roads, the things that have a direct impact on local communities, should be streamlined so that governments can get on with the job of delivering. This will be the hallmark of the Abbott government as we dedicate our time to reducing red tape and efficiency while allocating resources to improve local communities and our infrastructure. Deputy Speaker, I would like to reiterate the words of the Deputy Prime Minister upon introducing the legislation to the House, and I quote, "Australia's future growth will be significantly influenced by our capacity to deliver more appropriate, efficient and effective infrastructure. The amendments in this bill will help to deliver better infrastructure Australia critically needs." This is great news for Australia, and as I have mentioned at great length, the great news for the people I represent in Lindsay, but for the people of Greater Western Sydney, is that the time has come that we get our city moving. Western Sydney is a key region and a key economy within Australia. It is important with this growth and opportunity we provide the right infrastructure to support the growing needs of this expanding and vocal community. I am confident this government will continue to deliver an infrastructure plan that will support this region. That is why I today am extremely pleased to commend this bill to the House. Thank you.
I thank the